What's up, guys? We're back again, and today we are going over internal rate of return. What is IRR? We're going to solve that today. We're going to go over these three stages. Number one, what is IRR? Number two, going over the acronym CAP, and three, a little bonus to that. So, internal rate of return, we look at investments in general. We typically think of ROI, return on our investment. In real estate, there's a real cool thing, internal rate of return, where we're actually getting a return behind the scenes that you can't really see unless you run the numbers. It's a little bit different than, stocks in general. You kind of just got your ROI up front. In real estate, there's a lot of behind the scenes work. So I'm going to show you that right now. And we're going to use this example right here. We're going to use a $350,000 fourplex. So there's going to be 4 units that are rented out with an upfront investment of $75,000. That would cover a 20% down payment and about $5,000 in closing costs. And we're just going to assume leaving the building as is, entering in, and basically just keeping it renting the same way it has been over the course of 5 years. So this will be a 5-year period that we're running these numbers on. So what is internal rate of return? Again, I kind of explained it, but it's that behind the scenes work, the internal return, not the exterior stuff that you see, not just like what are you getting back each month in cash flow. There's some other things in there as well. That's why they call it the internal rate of return. Number two here, we're going to jump into it. CAP. These three things kind of make up our internal rate of return, the basics. So one is cash flow, two is appreciation, and P is principal paydown. Or debt paydown. I basically interchange those terms. So I don't know why that's on there. So what we're looking at is, okay, with this original $75,000 that we invested, what's going to be our internal rate of return over the course of 5 years? And so I'm going to make this pretty simple and self-explanatory. We'll hit cash flow last, but appreciation, assuming a 3% return year over year over the course of 5 years, this property would be worth roughly $408,000 if it just kept it as is, slowly increased rents. Boom, over the course of 3 years, we'd go from 350 to about 408. And so that equals about $58,000 in equity. Our principal pay down, we would start with a mortgage. I've got it pulled up here. What would our mortgage start at? Loan amount would be $280. Over the course of 5 years, it would be paid down to about $255. So we'd have about $25,000 in principal pay down. So that is also equity. The tenants are paying us. We're paying off our mortgage with that money. And the debt that we owe on the property has gone down by $25,000 over the course of 5 years. Use a standard amortization schedule calendar to determine that. So I'm just going to erase this up here just so we have these numbers. Okay, and then cash flow. I'll just use a basic example. Let's just say you're getting about, let's come down here, $4,000 in rents. Your expenses are roughly, your mortgage, your property taxes, your insurance, your maintenance, some vacancy is going to add up to about, let's go 3,500. I think the mortgage on that's like roughly 2,800 with property taxes and insurance covered. So basically there's another like $700 going towards maintenance expenses and stuff like that. So 3,500, let's just say all in all, you cash flowed roughly $500 per month. Let's get a calculator out. Over the course of, let's just say 500 times 12, that would be yearly. So about $6,000 in annual cash flow. And then over the course of 5 years would be about $30,000. Let's put a money sign there, make it look pretty. Boom. So with these three things, our return here, if we were to sell it, we're not factoring any selling expenses right now. We're just looking at this basic here. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 113,000. Okay, so over the course of 5 years, we would have about a return of about 113,000, and that's without us doing any crazy upgrades to the property, improving it. Cash flow isn't going up at all over the course of those years, which it technically should. You should be slowly raising rents as you go. And so this 113,000, boom, over our 75,000 um, invested. Boom. So that 113,000 that we invested, that would be like 150% return over that, but then we would divide it by over 5 years. So this would roughly be about a 30% internal rate of return. So over the course of 5 years, I just did 113,000 divided by 75,000, and that got me about 1.5. And then I divided that over the course of course, 5 years. That's not our return because every year that return goes down. So you have to divide it by however many years we were there. So that got me the 30.1% to be exact. So not bad over the course of 5 years when you're factoring in all the different forms of wealth creation in real estate. It's not just cash flow. Again, it's the internal stuff that jumps in. So about a 30% internal rate of return. And then there is a little bit of a bonus here as well. Tax wise, there's a thing called depreciation. So over the course of, on a standard residential, you're able to depreciate that by about, I think it's like over 27 and a half years. I'm not an accountant. This isn't tax or legal advice, but this is what I've seen. So you can depreciate that asset over the course of, 27 and a half years. And so 350,000 divided by 27.5, roughly like boom, you can write off about 12,727 each year that you own it. If you go to sell it, you got to recapture that depreciation sometimes if you're fully managing it yourself and getting those benefits each year. But this helps offset some of the income that the property produces. So it's kind of cool with your cash flow. Sometimes you can show, we've even shown like a loss on paper, even though the property is making money. After depreciating and then writing off all of our expenses and upgrades and upkeep of the property. And so there's also tax benefits to this. I won't get into those too crazy. There's also things called cost segregation studies that I'm kind of learning a little bit more about. And when you factor those in, like there's some really cool stuff behind the scenes that real estate can do and help you create wealth. And so if you found this interesting, like and subscribe. If you want to hear more about this or if you have questions, put it in the comments below and or join our school community through Investor Brew. I will attach the link in the description below. So you have that if you want to join. Right now it's free, probably be paid in the future. So get in while you can right now. And if you're watching this later in the future, I hope to see you there. So thanks for tuning in and till next time. I can find the end button.